Hello. Hey man, we online. Okay. Can you hear me?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good man. I can see your patriotism there. Yeah, man.
Box. I had
Springboks beat
I had to watch that. I had to watch the
yeah,
last few minutes of that match.
yeah. I saw that. A bit of a one-sided
That's
affair. Very rare, but though the Australian matches normally they're quite long, but nothing nice, nothing like giving the Aussie the whack. The Zimbabweans beat Australia today in the cricket. Pretty
absolutely,
close match.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think yeah, but it's good though. Nice to see the Aussies losing. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's weird, eh? Because the Zimbabwean match, this Ryan Burl got really outstanding bowling figures. Never seen such figures in my life. That too from a team like that. I think got 5 wickets for the 10 runs or 6 runs or what the feathers. I don't know. I have to just check on the computer. I watched some of it on the highlight, but I didn't watch all of it. So I'm sure the Zimbabwean fans must be dancing for joy, especially in Australia. 5 for 10
Yeah,
actually.
I'm having a great Saturday. I mean, the Aussies, the Aussies lost the cricket in the morning, then they've lost the rugby now. A little bit about the Zimbabwe match. I also didn't watch it. It was a bit too early for me. However, when I woke up this morning, wow, and that was history being made. That was history being made. What a performance by Zimbabwe, bowling Australia out for 141 and chasing that down. I know it is a bit touch and go in the chase there, but they managed to hold their nerve and chase
Hmm.
that score down. But wow, Ryan Burl, as you said, fantastic figures. I think he took the last 5 wickets of that innings.
Hmm.
So it was five
Hmm.
for 10. He bowled, he took wickets, and he was economical as well. So that was pretty amazing stuff. I think he just ran through the tail because the tail couldn't actually read him, and he just ran through the tail and. Yeah, I mean, history for Zimbabwe. I'm so happy for them. Hey, I mean, this is a side that's improving all the time, and we're seeing it here. We're seeing it here. So I
Hmm.
mean, congratulations to our African neighbors for getting one over the Aussies.
Yeah, it's just a bit bizarre because I know you're not a fan of the Super League, but because of this win against Australia, they got like 10 points, and I think they're catching up to us in the Super League. I just can't take this league seriously anymore. It'll be so fun if Zimbabwe qualifies for the World Cup, and we have to go through qualifiers. It is what it is, but I think we'll still qualify either way. But yeah, sad times, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been a fan of it as well, and the reason why the Proteas are where they are at the moment is because of lack of cricket as well. I mean, how many ODIs have they played since the beginning of the year? Not much, eh? So cricket
Hmm.
actually
Hmm. Yeah,
points, and
man. Hmm.
playing enough cricket, you're not
Hmm.
going to get those points. So it's a tough one.
Hmm.
I just think it's absurd.
Hmm.
This World Cup Super League is absolutely absurd. I think they need to scrap it come the next tournament
Hmm.
and just work on the rankings because I
Yeah,
think rankings are the most important thing.
I think they are scrapping it after this edition is done, which I think is very, very good. Yeah. But anyway, it is what it is. So we'll get down to the Asia Cup, which you find boring. I'll explain to you the format now. Now that the round robin is done out of the groups, now they in the Super Fours. So before we get into that, we'll just go through the fixtures quickly. India beat Pakistan. I know you predicted Pakistan to win. You said it was 50-50. I predicted India to win because of Rohit Sharma's captaincy announced and proved when he brought Jadeja down the order to bat. So I think that put Pakistan a bit of a tailspin there. Won by 5 wickets. What were your thoughts there?
Yeah, so that game was a really exciting game to watch, because if you look at that score, 147, you might seem it wasn't much of a total, but it wasn't the easiest pitch to bat on, It really wasn't, and I think Hardik played a fantastic game there with the bat and with the ball, and and rightfully so, man of the match there. I thought that was a fantastic all-round innings, and as you said, that innings of Jadeja was really important as well. The only concern for India, I would feel, is that top three, Sid. They're not getting enough runs from them. Your Sharma, your KL, and your Kohli. So that's a bit of a cause for concern, And those dismissals would have disappointed them a bit, the way they went out. So yeah, I think that's something they need to work on. I think the middle order is doing quite well for them, and I think the middle order is their strength in this Indian side.
Yeah, no, I think Cody has started to get into some form, He looks a lot better after he had that 1 month break, so I think he should be okay. I know Joyce said he doesn't expect those top three to play in the World Cup, so that'll be interesting to see if that happens. We'll go into the next one, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. This was a spanking by Afghanistan by 7 wickets. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this Afghanistan side is probably the most impressive of this tournament so far. I mean, the way they played out of their socks, really. They really played out of their socks. And beating the likes of Sri Lanka and Bangladesh that have been much more, established nations. Fantastic performance. And I just feel this is like a home game for Afghanistan. They play so well on these sorts of pitches. They play so much of cricket, yeah? I mean, if you look at the cricket, they play most of the cricket in the UAE, even if they're playing home matches. So this is essentially a home World Cup for Afghanistan. Let's not take anything away from it. This is essentially a home World Cup for Afghanistan. So I mean, they're really taking advantage of these conditions, which are actually home conditions for them, and their bowlers are really coming to the fore here.
Okay, all right. We'll get to the India and Hong Kong. Predictable win for India by 40 runs, but there's no shame, because Hong Kong only lost 5 wickets trying to chase it, so not bad. I mean, I think they just need more cricket under their belts, but I think Hong Kong had to work hard to qualify, so congrats to them.
Yeah, I actually didn't watch this game, to be honest with you, so I didn't actually see a ball of it, but
me neither.
I mean, yeah, good innings from Surya, and that was a good total that they put on board. But I think Surya actually pushed that total up to 190 because at one stage they could really. I think they were like 80 after 13 overs, and then he came in and he just he gave that acceleration that they needed, and managed to get to that score of 190, which was obviously going to be beyond Hong Kong, but pretty respectable effort in the end of 152. I mean, you take that as a team,
Yeah. Okay, we get to the knockout match the knockout in order to qualify for Super Fours was Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. This is what you call a real match. Close match, Sri Lanka won by 2 wickets. There was a lot of sledging off the field between these two sides. I don't know if you were reading all the headlines there, so made this match really exciting, so good for Sri Lanka to qualify. I was kind of rooting for them, so be interesting to see how they do against Afghanistan today. But what were your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, there was a lot of heated stuff in the press conferences prior to the game about the Sri Lankan side having a slap at the Bangladesh team, and the Bangladesh coach having a slap at the Sri Lankan bowlers, and it was quite heated before the match. But I think it's probably the match of the tournament so far in terms of run speed scored and being chased down. I mean, 180 is always quite a decent score in T20s. You'd probably 8 out of 10 times defend that sort of total. But I mean, the way the Sri Lankans came out and chased that down was pretty impressive as well. So yeah, I mean, a very, very important win for them, and they in the running for the playoffs now.
Okay, and now I suppose a knockout match, although it wasn't really a knockout match, which was Pakistan and Hong Kong, a real demolition job here, 193 for 2 and 38 all out. I think it was really a walk in the park.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get these sort of games, hey, and I think it's good experience for Hong Kong. I mean, playing against a side like Pakistan, playing against the likes of India. But, I mean, given this performance, I'm not sure if you agree with me that probably Pakistan has one of the best bowling lineups in this tournament by virtue of what we've seen yesterday and a bit against India as well. Although I think they didn't have enough runs to play with against India. That's why they lost. So they do have one of the best bowling attacks, even without Shaheen Shah Afridi, which is quite scary as well because he's been their spearhead for them for so many years so far.
Yeah, I think Joy had mentioned it, or I don't know if Jay Jadeja had mentioned it, but I think if they had made 160, I think India would have struggled on that sort of pitch. So I think they were probably 13 runs short on that match. I think Joy must have mentioned it, I think. But anyway, it is what it is. I think they're playing tomorrow, so that'll be a real spicy match. Today, the Afghanistan and Sri Lanka, this will be a bit of a revenge match, actually, for Sri Lanka. So I'm hoping for another Afghanistan win. Keep it up, Afghans.
Yeah, I think Sri Lanka would have got a lot of confidence from that game against Bangladesh in terms of their batting. So I expect them to play a lot better today, eh? A whole lot better than what they played in the first game, because the first game they were really, really outplayed. So I'm expecting the Sri Lankans to win this one today, sir. Because I see Afghanistan obviously have already qualified for the playoffs, so they probably want to rotate their squad around and stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty tough one for it's a pretty interesting game today. So I think Sri Lanka would probably come back into this one. Yeah, they go for the win.
I think it all depends on who wins the toss. Eh? I know we don't like talking about toss, but I think if Afghanistan wins the toss and they bowl first and they restrict Sri Lanka to a pretty much okayish score, like maybe 120, 130, I think Afghanistan will win. But if they have to bat first Afghanistan, then I think Sri Lanka will win. Let's put it that way.
Where are they playing today? Where are they playing?
Okay, just give me a second though. Oh, they're playing at Charger, our favorite venue.
Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting game because that's really a bowler's paradise, Sharjah. But however, the boundaries are quite short there, so I think Sri Lanka would actually try and get a good score there as well. So yeah, I think Sri Lanka are going to come back quite strong today. I expect them to win this one, sir.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, and then we go to the blockbuster match, India and Pakistan. I think they're playing in Dubai, day and night as usual, and I'm going to stay to my patriotic duty and stick to India. You?
Yeah, I mean Pakistan. They obviously had a great performance the last game. So look, they want to obviously cement that spot. They didn't play that badly against India, eh? And I think they'll want to try and rectify that and try and get a win there. So the only concern for India is the batting at the moment. I think their top three are out of touch. Eh? KL Rahul, Rohit, and Kohli. They're not looking the players that they were. So Pakistan always dangerous with the new ball. What I saw them against in that first game, they were dangerous with the new balls. So I mean, they do bowl first. That could be an advantage because chasing in Dubai is really the favorite thing. A lot of teams win chasing. So I think it's a question of the toss. Eh? I think it's a question of the toss. Whoever wins the toss tomorrow probably go a long way in winning the game.
Yeah, the only exceptions have been the matches with Hong Kong, and we can't even count that because, with due respect, they're not really a true side yet.
Absolutely.
Okay, the Super Four, they just say how they're going to explain it. It's pretty simple. There's four teams in the group. They'll all play each other, and then the top two will make the finals. So Afghanistan, there's Sri Lanka, there's Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan. So I think they had predicted India Pakistan final. The Tanmay, he predicted India and Afghanistan final. It was interesting. But though, it depends. If Afghanistan beat Sri Lanka today, anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, look at it now. You're probably going to have a scenario where probably Afghanistan might top the group. And Sri Lanka might come second. And then you've got the other group where India might top the group, and then Pakistan might come second. And then when you look at the knockout games, India and Sri Lanka probably are much more, I'd say, even contest. In that sense, much tougher game for India. In the sense that you've got Pakistan playing Afghanistan, but on the basis, I think Pakistan would fancy their chances against a team like Afghanistan rather than playing Sri Lanka. What do you think? So that could be an easier passage Sri Lanka into the final. Pakistan into the final.
I'm gonna stick to. I'm gonna be a bit more. I'm just gonna be a bit of those businessy minded people that I like to see India-Pakistan final. It's good for TRPs anyway. Although I don't mind to see Afghanistan, it's good to see them doing well in the world of cricket. It's a shame they don't play enough 50 overs. So, but anyway, that is what it is. I'll stick to India-Pakistan, but I wouldn't mind in India-Afghanistan final. But everyone wants to see India-Pakistan. Pardon? Pardon?
I think on the basis, I'd probably say India and Pakistan would probably have too much for any of those teams that they play in the playoffs. So that probably looks like the likely final. However, Sri Lanka might spoil the party. But I just feel Pakistan have too much for Afghanistan if they had to play them the playoffs. They just have too much for Afghanistan to handle. So I'd give that one to Pakistan either way.
Oh, so no, but then you think that it's a Pakistan-Afghanistan final, or are you just saying in terms of the normal round-robin match?
No, what I mean, if Pakistan plays Afghanistan in the semi-finals, Pakistan will have too much for Afghanistan.
No, there's no semi-final. They're just gonna play each other in a round-robin format, and then the top two in that group. Yeah, so Super Fours. So yeah. So they play each other like 3 times. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm a little bit confused here. So the game today is it a knockout game?
No. They just the Super Fours now from today. So in the Super Four, there's Sri Lanka, Pakistan, India, Afghanistan. So they'll play each other 3 times, meaning not each other 3 times, but 3 games each. That makes sense. So India will play their 3 games, Pakistan will play their So I think in that sense, I think India will win those 3. Well, maybe not all 3, but I think that run rate might come into it. No, I think India will win all their 3. They're too good, and Pakistan will probably. I think that run rate might come in.
Look, I mean, you got to be honest. I mean, it's obviously a money spinner, this Asia Cup, and I would like a few of if you look at this idea, I like a few of the Western sides, or maybe the Southern Hemisphere teams to look at this and maybe have that sort of, if they can arrange that sort of tournament. But I feel the only thing with the Southern Hemisphere is that there's a bit of travel time, especially for the likes of Zimbabwe and South Africa to travel to Australia and New Zealand, to and fro. But I guess they can have it around. They can change it around. We probably have a sort of have a different venue in terms of sort of different host country for the event, like every 2 years. I think that would probably you see a higher standard of cricket between those teams. With all due respect to the Asia Cup, there's a lot of minnow sides in the Asia Cup as well. But you'll probably see high quality cricket between Southern Hemisphere teams.
Yeah,
you
I
were
think
to be, if you,
Pakistan. Yeah, I think Pakistan were trying to arrange something like that, whereby it was Pakistan, India, England, Australia, and then they wanted to add in one
no,
different
no,
team per year.
I don't
I
mean
think they were
triangular.
trying.
I mean like
Sorry.
a Southern Hemisphere, like how you have in Asia Cup. I don't mean
Yeah,
a triangular
yeah,
series
yeah.
with
Oh,
Asian
okay.
teams.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah,
I don't mean that.
yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but or you could have it, or you could have the tournament in England because SA could go there. Be SA, England, Australia. You could have something like that. SA, England, Australia, and then maybe New Zealand or something like that. You
I
could
guess
have
you
it
could
in England.
possibly put England into that conversation. Probably England, Australia, and New Zealand,
You
Australia,
see?
England, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. And I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind putting Zimbabwe into that question as well.
yeah. Because of the
Yeah,
experience.
I think that's good for the game. Probably grow the game, and yeah, Zimbabwe, Ireland. It's good. It's good for the game. I think it's good for the game.
Yeah, yeah. I've been thinking that instead of these long, drawn-out series of 5 matches, 6 matches, they should just have triangular series and have the minnows be a part of them. So, for example, if you having New Zealand playing South Africa, you could add maybe Ireland to the mix or something. Have these triangular series happening. Maybe where there's 50 overs, 20 overs, whatever. But anyway, that's a story for another time. Any final words before we wrap off?
I think T20 triangular series could work in the future. Hey, T20 triangular series is really something that cricket unions all over the world that need to look into. So yeah, I know triangular series are coming back in the near future. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, even they could do 50 overs, but anyway, that's another story for another time. Have you ever thought of a test triangular series, or do you think it's too ambitious?
That'd be too long. Hey, that would really be too long.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, I think that's pretty okay. Before you wrap off, I just want to see who does SA play England, man? It's been a while, man. After that drubbing, man, I've been kind of anxious to watch that match, but it's been. Let me just see the fixture quickly. When is the last match? Oh my God, is this Thursday on? Oh, not so bad. It's just 5 more days. Feels like 5 years. So yeah, I think we did discuss it. So what are your quick thoughts on this one? Do you think SA is going to still win the series 2-1?
Yeah, so I expect Janssen to come back in the team. I think Harmer is going to sit this one out. And I think in terms of the batting, Rassi is injured, so that's a bit of a blow. And, Rickleton is going to get his chance in this game. So I know you were talking about Markham getting one last chance. I think he might probably just get his last chance in this test match.
Yeah, I think Ashwell
So
Prince and Hashim have discussed it, right? Yeah, I think Hashim Amla, Ashwell Prince and Herschel Gibbs had discussed it. I think Herschel Gibbs spoke like me, won a match, then dropped. I think Hashim was a bit more generous, saying that because they put him in the middle order, you must give him an extended run in the middle order to get him a chance to get used to it. I think Ashwell Prince is more in the middle. So I think Rickleton needs a chance, man. We can't keep delaying people like him just because of whatever reason. So I think one more match is fair enough. I am accepting it. One more match, which is the final decider. If he cracks it, makes a good 100, then he's on ventilator support. But if he doesn't, then he's out of ventilator support. What do you think?
Yeah, look, I think Rickleton is going to be in the mix either way. I think he's going to come in for Rassi, and I do expect Markham to be dropped after this third test. For the near future. So I know Zondo's actually quite a talented player, and but I think it'd be a really difficult on him to come into a game where it's a series decider, and the pressure's on you. So a bit of a pressure situation at the moment for Zondo to come in. So I think they'll probably keep Markham for this final test match, but I don't foresee Aiden Markham being in the side for too long, Sid. I mean, I made it very clear last week. I think he is going to be dropped after the series.
So you'll say he is going to be out of ventilator support should he fail this final test match?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Rickleton is probably knocking on the door. And if Rickleton scores a big one, it's going to make Markram's life much more difficult to actually stay in the side. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping he can have a good move.
Yeah, to be honest, I know you'll disagree with me, but I don't mind Rusty in the side because at least he's a fighter. He really grusts it out, and you need a bit of fighters in the team. So I think I would still stick with Rusty, but Aiden has to go if he fails in this final test match. So, but anyway, it is what it is. I think there'll be either one or two replacements. So yeah, I like to see Rickleton play in place of Rusty. And then we'll see how it goes from there. Because I know Aiden won't be dropped. So I think that's his final test match. If he fails.
Look, Rassi can play. Rassi can play, I mean, after this, in future series and stuff. But he's not a long-term solution. Rassi van der Dusen is not a long-term solution. So there is going to be a time where you've got to, there's quite a few youngsters knocking on the door. Some talented youngsters. In the domestic circuit, and that's a conversation for another time. But he's not a long-term solution, and I think obviously age is age is a bit of a worry for him as well because he's going to be 34 next year. So look, he's not a long-term solution. I can see him playing another 2-3 seasons, but I think it's also very important to start blooding youngsters as well as early as possible.
Yeah, like maybe if I say, this is why I feel that the way this Test Championship has been designed is just all wrong. I mean, imagine 25 Test matches for us and then the rest of the world. The top 3 teams are, the top 3 financial teams, if I could put it that way, will get much more. But anyway, this is what it is. I wish I could be in the ICC board and structure this whole test system better. But anyways, it is what it is.
Well, given that the Proteas are not in the top 3, I think the way they played in this IC Test Championship is quite admirable, and you got to give them a lot of credit. The way they played under Elgar, this is still a difficult side to beat. This is a tough side to beat on their day. So they at the moment they're looking like favorites for that Test Championship final, eh?
Yeah, if they beat England, which I'm sure they will, even if they draw the final test match, and I have a theory, if they can beat Australia in Australia, I bet you Australia will have no choice but to have more test matches against them so that they give themselves a better chance to beat SA because I don't think Australia will want to play a small amount of test matches against us, So I think the only way we're going to get taken seriously is just by us playing well. There's no two ways about it. I mean, we'll have to just keep winning well and then have the top 3 teams financially, the financially top 3 teams want to play against us, and then it'll become a nice situation where a lot of test matches will come our way. You agree with me?
Absolutely. Yeah, I always fancy our chances against Australia, be at home or be it away. I think we got the makings, and I think we've got the makings of beating that test team. So, we've given them quite a few dubbings over the years, some memorable ones. So, yeah, that's going to be a big series. That's going to be a big series for both teams because they number 1 and 2 on the log. So, yeah, I can't wait for it. So, yeah. And, this third test is going to be gripping as well.
Yeah, I think Australia will want to have the revenge because we beat them so badly and with all that controversy. But I guess that is what makes that series exciting. Anyways, I shall see you on the other side.
Cheers. Up to you soon, Cheers.